Hello and welcome back to the channel. I hope you've had a great start to the first game week of Sun Dream Team. My week's not been too bad. In this video, I'm just going to talk about what's happened in all of the games that I've played so far. Tomorrow or the following day, I will discuss with you what's happened with my team in terms of results, because I have a couple of Brentford players in my team. So I want to see how they do in their EFL Cup game tonight before I discuss my results. So maybe a bit more exciting video to come tomorrow, but hopefully this video is also a good one to watch. So let's get started. Let's start with the first game of the new season. On Friday it was Arsenal 3, Coventry City 0. No surprises here really. Goals from Kai Havertz, who was the starting number 9, and he stayed on for the whole game actually. Gyökeres didn't come on the pitch at all, which I thought was quite surprising. I mean, are they going to play full games now, or, was Havertz quite happy to sort of play the whole game? We just need to keep an eye on that really. But yeah, Gyökeres no minutes at all in a game where they were, streets ahead of Coventry. Saka got in on a goal as well. It was just a tap in from another Solis assist, albeit it was a fantasy assist because he got the cross in and the goalkeeper sort of palmed it away, but then Saka tapped it in. So it was good that Solis eventually got the assist because he didn't have those points initially, but he now has them, which is great. Odegaard got in on the goal as well, another goal for him, but it was sort of a bit of a scruff shot that the Cov goalkeeper should have saved really. But yeah, another goal for Odegaard, is doing well. And the 2 assists for Havertz and Odegaard were from Arsenal's fullbacks. So it was Calafiori and White who started, which I think we expected. And it was both of those who got an assist each. So well done if you went for White and Calafiori. 10 points for each of them. So here is the lineup. The expected back 4. Gabriel just on the 6 because he got a yellow card. Odegaard, Saka, Havertz with the goals. Solis with his assist eventually. His fantasy assist here. So he also had 2 shots on target, and one of the shots was actually, it looked like it was sort of out of the box. Unfortunately, it was straight at the keeper, but if that would have gone in, he would have got some more bonus points for goals outside the box, of course. So he is looking very promising. Martinelli not in the squad once again, so really he's their main man on that left wing side. I mean, Madueke could play there, but he came on for Saka. So Saka got 68 minutes. He did start. I was a bit surprised at that, but he did start. I'm glad that he only got the 1 goal because he wasn't in my team. And then obviously Madueke came on for him. And Solis only had 76 minutes. And then it was Eze that came on, sort of play that left wing role, which is not where his best position, but Solis is the sort of player that seems to just go at a million miles an hour for the whole game, so I don't think he's always going to play the 90, to be honest. So those were the subs. In terms of my team, I had Gabriel, so clean sheets at least. I'm happy that I don't have to worry about rotation really with Gabriel. And I had Solis to cover the attacking threat. So luckily the other attacking players didn't sort of outscore him from too much. Saka, 2 extra points than Solis, but Saka's, I think he's like £1.5 million more expensive. So yeah, I'm happy with that. £1.5 million more expensive Saka is, but he only scored 2 points more. And the question still remains about how many minutes really he's going to get from game to game. Next up for Arsenal is Villa away. So before this weekend, before Villa played, we may have been a little bit more worried about Arsenal keeping a clean sheet away at Villa, but my gosh, they've lost practically their whole team. So more on that later, but it's safe to say I'm not worried about Arsenal going to Villa at all, and I'll be keeping my Arsenal assets. In an ideal world, I would certainly have more defenders, but unfortunately just don't have the budget at the moment. If we go over to Cov, to be honest, not much to talk about at the moment, and I'm not too familiar with their team at the moment. Of course, I think they only had sort of one shot in this game, so like I said, I'm struggling to really sort of talk about certain players based on this game where it wasn't expected them to get anything out of the game, to be honest. So I'm going to leave talking about Coventry City in this video, but perhaps the next time they play at home to Hull, I'm certainly going to cover them in a bit more detail. Next, we're going to talk about Hull's shock win against Manchester United 2-0 at home in their first game back in the Premier League. Well, it's safe to say no one predicted this, and this is a prime reason why I don't personally base any of my fancy football decisions on projective goals and clean sheets. I just want to really focus on the eye test and what they've done so far in the season, how they're setting up, etc. So, Hull, they did very well, apparently in sort of a back five, quite defensively solid and focus on sort of getting the set pieces, from which they did score through a Slater assist. So he is potentially one to consider if you wanted a cheap Hull enabler in Slater, because he's on all of the set pieces. Goals from two defenders actually, so that's not going to happen every week, but happy for these players to get off the mark with a home win. And looking at 12 points for their Hull goalkeeper, how much is he? 2 million. Well, but obviously we're not going there. No one foreseed this result, to be quite honest. In terms of Manchester United, I mean, it's a team. Did we expect this? I didn't actually. Cunha started in a number 9 role, and Mbeumo was on the right. Now, this is what happened last season. I get it, but they've had a whole pre-season with Mbeumo up front in the number 9. I just don't know why he just didn't go with that at least to start the game, because that's what they've been working on in pre-season and it worked so well. Cunha didn't do very well. He was dropping back quite a lot. Mbeumo got a couple of shots on target and they were saved by the goalkeeper, so he had a couple of good chances to get on the score sheet. Of course, Ahmed wasn't even in the squad. Apparently he picked up an injury, so it meant Mbeumo played the whole game, and I think his minutes are going to be secured for a few weeks with Ahmed being out. But yeah, Cunha lasted 67 minutes and then Šeško came on. To be honest, last season it was often Cunha that came off earlier than Mbeumo, so that's why I'm not really interested in Cunha at all, to be quite honest. As a team, Manchester United put up 1.83 XG. They actually had 21 shots in total, but only 5 of them were shots on target. So really poor performance by them. Maguire did get 4 points. He did put in a good cross, which should have led to an assist really due to its quality, and he also had a shot on target, so he was in my team. I'm glad he got the 4 points instead of 1 or 2. And Fernandes, big disappointment, just a 1 shot on target. He did get a bonus point as well. Yeah, but his crossing was quite poor today as well, so yeah, very disappointing Manchester United. I have Mbeumo and Maguire and Fernandes in my team. They're going to stay in my team for Ipswich at home. I'm not worried about the next game. Ipswich at home. The crowd are no way going to let them play as poorly as they did against Hull. And it's a home fixture against a newly promoted side, so we've got to focus on that. Next, we're going to move on to Everton Palace. It was a 2-0 win for Everton. Didn't tell half the story really. Palace did have the higher XG, 1.96 versus 1 of Everton. Crystal Palace also hit the woodwork twice in that game. On to Everton, there was goals from Dewsbury Hall and Barry. Barry was the main man up front. He got 79 minutes before Beto came on. So I think Barry is first choice for this Everton team. Assists from Armstrong, very young midfielder who started alongside new signing Hackney, and Ndai, who put in a fantastic cross to get the assist, and he also got a couple of shots on target as well. So this is their team. New signing George from Chelsea started. He seemed to make a few dribbles into the box, and that was reflected in his bonus points here. So no sort of attacking shots, on target or anything like that, but certainly his dribbling did catch my attention, you could say. Yeah, and Dewsbury Hall doing well as well. On to Crystal Palace. So, interestingly, Muniz did start, so that did surprise me, considering he wasn't involved in pre-season, and also he's been linked with a move away. Mingueza stayed on the bench, so I was quite surprised at that. So, also, what surprised me was that Sarr wasn't in the squad at all. I know he's been linked with a move away, but I still expected him to perhaps be in the squad. He wasn't, and I'm really disappointed, really. I'm disappointed for Crystal Palace, but also in terms of Dream Team, because I was targeting him for Crystal Palace great fixtures that are coming up in a few weeks' time. And it appears that he's not going to probably play another game for them, which is really a shame. Mateta started up front, which was also a surprise because Larsson's been playing up front in pre-season, and there's still a bit of uncertainty with Mateta over his contract. So, yeah, another surprise really. Nketiah had a bright game. He had 2 good chances to score, I believe, but he only had 58 minutes or so, 55. And then McNeil as well, 63. Even though Nketiah looked bright, perhaps we're not going there because his minutes are going to be limited to an hour. So, yeah, seems to have lost its spark a little bit, you could say, as with quite a few teams this season, which is a bit of a shame. I think they're really lacking in the attacking department, Crystal Palace, this season. So, yeah, shame for Crystal Palace. So next we're going to talk about Ipswich and Sunderland. It was a 2-1 win for Ipswich, so a great return to the Premier League for Ipswich. They looked really good. They've got a really good attacking line this season. They've spent sort of 70 million plus on the attack. You've got Maeda, Enciso, and their new striker, Emerson, who got on the score sheet as well as Jack Clark, who was their top scorer last season. He came off the bench and he grabbed the equaliser in the 90th minute. But what Ipswich did well was that they pressed really high and led Sunderland into making defensive errors for both of their goals. So, yeah, they look really good in the attack, Ipswich. Enciso may be injured. He did come off injured, but I think he may be okay. But he's certainly one to watch in that number 10 role. Looks very strong and powerful going forward. Sunderland, on the other hand, like I said, defensive errors led to both of Ipswich's goals. They only had 0.66 expected goals in total, Sunderland. So very poor on the attacking front. Hume did start right wing and played the majority of the game, 80 minutes here. He did have 2 big chances as well, so he is sort of getting chances in that right wing position. But Sunderland have always been a bit poor away from home last season. They do have that home fixture next against Fulham. In terms of my team, I have no one from Ipswich in my team, but for Sunderland I have Roofs in goal. So I'm hoping that he will put up a clean sheet at home in their next fixture against Fulham. Sunderland were a good defensive unit at home last season, so hoping he'll make back the points that he's not gained from this game week, because I do expect him to drop in price slightly this week. Next we're going to talk about Nottingham Forest versus Leeds. I predicted this would be a very low-scoring game in a way because I thought both of their teams would be defensively solid this season, playing in this back three formation with wing-backs, and with the addition of, Diamonde didn't actually start or play in this game at all, but I expect him to replace Cunha in the back three at some point. So quite a defensively solid unit here in Nottingham Forest, but also Leeds with the addition of Muharemovic in that back three, and them keeping 2 out of 3 clean sheets in their pre-season. So I did expect this to be quite a tight game, and it was. It was a low XG game as predicted. 0.66 XG for Forest and 0.47 XG for Leeds. And why I didn't go for Calvert-Lewin is because I thought Nottingham Forest will make it difficult for him to score, and he didn't get a look in this game, Calvert-Lewin. Both teams had 0 big chances as well, and it only took a free kick from Stack for Leeds to break the deadlock in the 88th minute, which really I think Sales for Forest should have saved that goal from Stack. It just went in from in near the near post. So yeah, Stack was on that set piece. Wilson did go off, Harry Wilson, in the 66th minute. So it seems that Stack is probably going to be on some set pieces still. So Wilson's probably not going to take all of them because Stack is so good at it, and he proved that last season as well. For Nottingham Forest, Aina obviously was sort of only the £2.5 million defender. I didn't go for him myself just because of his attacking numbers last season were not great at all. Yes, he is playing further forward this season in this formation, and he did well. He had a long throw on him, almost got an assist by that throw. Also got a couple of balls into the box as well, shot on target as well, and he came off before Leeds got the goal, so he bagged the clean sheet. So well done if he went for Aina. He is going to go up in price for the next game week, but he does face Liverpool away from home in the next game week. But yeah, he did better a bit further forward, so could be one to watch. So the last game on the Saturday was Brentford versus Tottenham. It was a 3-0 win for Brentford. They should have won it 4-0, to be honest, but it was Thiago that missed his penalty. So very impressive display by Brentford. They acquired 3.88 XG. So yeah, almost matched what they should have had really with the penalty that should have gone in. So I still have Utara and Shardo in my team, and it's quite unbelievable that despite that XG in the scoreline, Utara, Shardo and Thiago didn't get on the score sheet at all. Utara did get in on goal, but he had a bad touch, so he couldn't get his shot away. Shardo could have had an assist if Thiago had put the ball in the back of the net, because he was fouled for the penalty, Shardo was. So he could have been on 8 points right now. And Thiago missed his penalty. So yeah, 3 goals, could have been 4, and none of the front 3 had any part in it. So that was a bit of a shame. Kyoto did really well. He was in my top cheap budget defender videos. He got in on a goal and also was taking long throws in as well. Got a bonus point as well. So yeah, he looked really good. So well done if you went for Kyoto there. Lewis Potter, of course, scored a goal as well. So 2 defenders on the score sheet for Brentford, and they just looked great. They looked like a team that played together for some time, and they have. It's a stable team from last season. Just the new signing Sangare coming in, who obviously looked fantastic and provided an assist for the first goal as well. So Brentford looking fantastic. Tottenham, on the other hand, only 0.57 XG, which is about a sixth of what... Is it a sixth? No, it's an eighth actually of what Brentford achieved. So they didn't turn up at all. First of all, I thought the formation or the choice of players was a bit unexpected, you could say, in the midfield. Obviously, Van der Ven was injured, so this defence is what I expected. My prediction was that the fullbacks would get a little bit exploited by Brentford, and they did to an extent. The first goal actually went through the centre backs, but after that they were getting chances sort of from around the fullback positions as well. Midfield was a bit weird. They had Tonali, of course, one of their big money signings, but they started Bergwall in midfield, which was a bit odd. Gallagher was in the number 10, who came off early. And then I must say that the forward line is so poor for Spurs. Moore, Tell and Richarlison. I mean, if you look at their numbers last season, not many attacking returns at all. Moore had a couple of shots on target, but straight at the goalkeeper. So very, very poor. They did make some changes. Fernandes did eventually come on to join Tonali in the midfield. But yeah, Fernandes and Tonali, £200 million worth of signings for that midfield. And they put in this performance and concede 3 goals. And yet Brentford signed Sangare. It was about 39 million off the top of my head, who's obviously done a far better job than these two in this game week. So yeah, a bit of a midfield mashup, you could say, and no attack really for Tottenham at all. And they really need a striker to come in, to be honest. You know, they do have Solanke, but he did come on. Did he? Or is he injured? Yeah, he's not always obviously the most reliable. So yeah, they just need an attack. They've obviously brought in Savinho, who wasn't involved, but I think he can really add to this lineup. But they just need a prolific striker ASAP into this team. In terms of my team, obviously I had the 2 Brentford guides that are still yet to play in the EFL Cup game. Hopefully they will play a part away at Birmingham and get more points to add to their 2 and 5 already. If Sharda doesn't play or get any more points, then he's likely going to sort of stay similar price. I'm just hoping Utara plays in a bit, and I think he will, because he came off in the 67th minute, whereas Sharda played the whole game. So I'm hoping Utara will play in that EFL Cup fixture, get a few more points so I can hold on to him, hopefully get a little bit of a price rise. If he doesn't get any more points, then I might have to look to trade him out, just because his minutes are not as secure as Sharda, and I face a price drop. So that is my plans. As for Tottenham, I've got no plans at all to bring in any of their players at this moment in time. Next we have Brighton Aston Villa. Big talking points in this game. 4-0 win to Brighton. Aston Villa, we know what their situation was like going into the game. They had lost so many players, and it was very worrying for them that Watkins was not in the team and Buendia was the one who started up front. So I thought he'd have a bit of a chance, but unfortunately they just capitulated, conceded goals, and then their new signing, Gomez, got a yellow card, and then he got a straight red. He got sent off. So he's going to miss, 1 or 3 games. I don't know how many it is, to be honest. So that's just thinning their squad even further for the next game. I did say I was worried about their midfield in pre-season. They're left with Barkley, who's injury prone and a bit older. Kamara's just come back from injury. Bogard came on, who's young, and so he doesn't really amaze me from the eye test point of view. You got McGinn, who's getting older, fantastic player who can play anywhere, but and then a new guy, Hemmings, who's come in. And who have they got on the bench? Well, Garnacho they've signed, but he came on at 86 minutes. I know they were a man down, but they obviously were not sort of chasing anything at that point. So maybe if they were a bit more in the game, he would have got more minutes. Defender come on, their new defender come on. They literally have no attackers at all available who are fit and who could have come on in this game to save how this game was going. Yeah, absolutely terrible display. 0.31 expected goals for Aston Villa and 0 shots on target. And it doesn't get any easier for them. Arsenal play Aston Villa next, and last season I would say that Villa have a chance to get something from this game. I'm afraid not this season, not the way that Arsenal are playing and not the way that Aston Villa are with their depleting squad. As for Brighton, it was Rutter that started up front. Obviously they've signed a new player, Promise David, who wasn't involved today. But once the goals kept going in, there was no need to risk bringing him on, really. Hinshelwood with 2 goals in that number 10 position that he played so well last season, and De Kuyper covering the left wing, who's normally a left back. So he came up with a goal and a fancy assist as well. So he did very well as well. I mean, these guys were on my radar a little bit, but next they play Chelsea, so that's why they weren't in really my consideration or thoughts to have in. But fair play if you went for these 2 guys. Gomez with the assist. Again, he got one in pre-season as well. He was more of a goal threat last season, but he's coming up with the assist this time. And Weaver actually, right back there, just to note for you to be aware of, that he acquired 10 PPMs, so he got +3 bonus points. So he did very well for bonus points. 12 points, amazing. I was quite surprised as well that Vuskovic started. He started midweek in the European game, so I think a lot were expecting him not to start in this game, but he did. So I think that's quite telling. He's been on my watch list, but I was just a bit worried that he wouldn't be sort of secure for minutes in terms of the centre backs. But considering he's played in 2 games in a week, I think that's a good sign for his minutes going forward. As for my team, I don't have any players from Brighton or Aston Villa in my team. I'm not going to look at Brighton assets yet, just because they have Chelsea next and Aston Villa. I would have been potentially interested in Buendia, but not after this performance and not after seeing Watkins is not in the squad and looks like he won't be returning either, which is a shame. Next we have Manchester City 2, Bournemouth 1. So Bournemouth scored first through goal from Tavernier, and then it was 2 late goals from Gahey and Gvardiol to win the game, with assists for both of those goals by Cherky, who came on later in the 63rd minute, so he did very well. I watched the game, have to say I was totally confused by City's lineup to begin with, but it appeared that it was O'Reilly in the number 10 position and Anderson and Gahey in the midfield, which was certainly a shock. And I have to say, I don't think it worked at all. I know Gahey, he missed a sitter and he did score the goal, but that was from a set piece. It was nothing to do with the way they were set up. So I have to say, despite this, I was not a fan at all of their formation. I thought they looked a little bit lost. They weren't very cohesive together. Lewis was playing sort of right wing back, I believe, who was eventually replaced by Nunes, which worked a little bit better. But yeah, not a fan of them defensively, despite them winning the game. Foden didn't do much again. Semenyo likewise. Semenyo actually had a few chances, like 3 chances to get a shot away at goal, and he was just overdoing it, a bit like Madueke style. He just kept turning back and then just losing the ball when he could have just had a shot away. He was doing it far too often, so not impressed at all with how Semenyo is doing so far this season. Haaland, obviously in my team, was my captain, but unfortunately he did get the 2 shots on target, but he didn't score. And I think this is purely down to the service he's getting. It's just not good enough. Yeah, O'Reilly being in the number 10, I mean, I'm not sure what he's going to do next for the next game, because obviously Cherky came on in that position and provided the 2 assists, so it makes sense for him to start, right? But then Foden's best position is the number 10 as well, so I think it's safe to say we're not going to know what Enzo is going to do, Enzo Maresca, for his next game, and we need a few more games to establish what is his favoured formation and who are their favourite players. I mean, Aït-Nouri was still on the bench, so he didn't come on at all. I'm a bit put off by getting their players at the moment for that game week 3 fixture against Coventry, because I just don't think they are clicking, they are gelling. I don't think they're getting in great positions to score. Haaland's not getting the service, so I need to watch them next game week against Crystal Palace to see how they set up and how they perform before getting any more players into my team. So, as for Bournemouth, very stable squad from last season. Only the one change in defence, Silva, who's come in to play with Hill. So they look like a team that's been playing together for a long time, and they have done. Their team is largely unchanged. Tavernier with the goal, and I thought they played well, but they lost the game really, so that was a shame for them. So not really much more to say, to be honest. In terms of my team, Bournemouth assets, not something I'm focusing on yet either. Newcastle 2, Liverpool 2. Quickfire goal on the counter-attack for Alanga, and the 5-minute mark. Finish off 2-2 with a late penalty for Liverpool, which in my opinion I thought was a bit soft. It may have been a penalty, but it was a bit soft. And it was Szoboszlai that took the penalty. So I think, it's not confirmed Szoboszlai is on penalties. The game was at St James's Park. I think it would have been big pressure for Isak to have taken that penalty, and if he would have missed, he would have got all the uproar, and probably his confidence would just go down. So there was no point really him taking it, to be honest. It was a big risk, and I just think Szoboszlai can just do the job really well, so I don't know why he would be taken off them. It was a great penalty, top left corner, to draw the game, and on the whole I think Liverpool deserved at least a draw from that game. They had 27 shots at goal, but only 7 shots on target. It was Wirtz who was substituted at 60 minutes, so a very poor game once again for Wirtz, who I thought would do much better in this number 10 position. But I think he was again just rifting, out to the left and other places. So yeah, a poor showing from him. And Szoboszlai playing the whole game again and on the penalties. So I think I'm favouring a bit Szoboszlai over Wirtz at the moment based on this performance. Szoboszlai coming up with a bonus point as well, 7 PPMs accumulated. So yeah, and this was away from home. So yeah, very good for the bonus points once again. I do think Liverpool's squad is still very thin though. They brought on Araujo for Jake. 70 minutes. Kumas, who to be honest I don't know anything about. McAllister come on, but more defensively minded really. And then their new signing Munoz, who came in on the right. I thought he was more of a left winger, but he didn't impress me too much at all. So that was it. So I've already touched on them having a thin squad. I think it's a bit concerning really, and they still could lose Gakpo this transfer window as well. And Isak looked off the boil as well. So yeah, a bit worried about Liverpool. Back to Newcastle, it was Barnes that played the 90 minutes. So new signing Toure got 0 minutes. So that was probably a bit surprising, maybe. Barnes didn't do anything in this game. Alanga seems to be improving a little bit from last season. And Vissa apparently played really well. He started number 10 and then moved to the number 9 position as well. He got an assist and a shot on target. Apparently he played really well. And Voltemada, interestingly, was an unused substitute. So yeah, he still may be gone this transfer window. So as for my team, I'm not interested in Newcastle at the moment. Liverpool, potentially I'm going to target game week 3 when they go away to Ipswich. I'm probably going to focus on getting Szoboszlai, but he is 6 million, so it would just be budget depending, because there's also other fixtures that I want to target as well, which will all be discussed in a future video. But if I had to pick a Liverpool player now, it would be Szoboszlai. So last night was the final game before the EFL Cup game started, so we finished with a cracker. Fulham 2, Chelsea 3. Very good game to watch, very action-packed, 5 goals in total. Fulham did put on a good show, to be honest. They played really well, a goal for their new striker, Garcia, as well, and Castagna with another assist. So he's come up with a few assists lately, so that's possibly one to watch. As for Chelsea, it's that front three who's all got on the score sheet. Pedro, Rodgers, Palmer and Pedro also picked up an assist as well. I talked about sort of pre-season how I think these three up front would play so well together and link up well, and they certainly did. Rodgers and Palmer, the two tens behind Pedro. That's how it worked out, and Palmer coming up with 18 points. Amazing. Is the Cole Palmer back after missing out on the World Cup? Golden assist, shots on target, big chance created, and 10 bonus points. He was dribbling away, wasn't he? Yeah. Lots of dribbles, fouls won, likely through those dribbles as well. So, yeah, Palmer is one to watch, but I'm also interested in Rodgers at some point. But yeah, they played well in the attack. Defence was another matter, really. Sanchez as well in the goal. Calamitous errors once again. They have to move him on. They have to get a better goalkeeper in. If they do, they could really be a force this season and perhaps even compete for the title, but the defence needs working on. I was quite surprised that Lacroix actually came up with an assist. He got so far forward and put a cross in for Rodgers, I believe it was, so he did very well. Got the bonus point as well for doing his defensive duties. So yeah, a very good show from Chelsea. I'm interested in Rodgers, really. Is a bit of a differential over Palmer. They are the same price in this game, 5 million. I know he doesn't have penalties, but I think he could be a little bit better for getting assists and bonus points. As for Fulham, not too bad of a showing. Anderson in defence was suspended for this first game, so he didn't play. And yeah, so the new striker got a goal. Put on a decent show. I'm not interested in any of the Fulham players at this moment in time, but I think they did a decent job. So there we have it, a roundup of all the Game Week 1 games so far. We have the EFL Cup games over the next couple of days, so I might update you after that. And so certainly tomorrow or the next day I'll get my results video out to show you how I did in Game Week 1, and then I'll be talking about my plans for the following game week as well. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please drop a like rating, subscribe to the channel so you can be notified of the next videos, and pop your comments in the comments below. Let me know how you get on in this first game week, and I'll see you on the next one.